Out front now with the White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Raj Shah. Raj, good to have you back with me tonight. A day of some stunning and very quick-moving developments. Jared Kushner stripped of access to the nation's top secrets with the downgrade in his security clearance. Were you shocked by this, Raj?
Well, Aaron, good evening, and thanks for having me on. The White House has been saying the same thing about this matter and related matters for a number of months now. We do not comment on security clearances. We don't address them, acknowledge or refute any of the reporting you're referencing, and frankly, we can't comment beyond that.
So the question here, though, and this is crucial, when you talk about the White House and what all of you are doing, what this administration is trying to accomplish, Jared Kushner is at the center of that. He is one of the top people in the White House, senior advisor, son-in-law. You just heard the president among several of many comments he has said glowingly of Jared, tasked with peace in the Middle East, working on China, working with Mexico, one of the few people who actually reads the top secret presidential daily brief every single day. Jared Kushner is at the center, Raj, of some of the biggest decisions impacting Americans right now. He can't do his job without the top security clearance. So what will happen to him now?
Well, again, I'm not going to address your speculation. What I will say is you just mentioned a number of statements. I'll tell you one more from just a little over a week ago in which the chief of staff said, pursuant to his memo about interim and permanent security clearances, that he has full confidence in Jared Kushner's ability to do his job, to address the issues of Israeli-Palestinian peace, to also address the issue of U.S.-Mexico relations. So, he's doing a great job on behalf of the president, and he's going to continue in his role.
So he can continue in his role if he can't be briefed on what's going on with Iran or terror threats or anything like that? I mean, how can you do Middle East peace if you don't have top secret security?
Again, that's making assumptions and answering hypotheticals that we're not prepared to address. We do not comment on security clearances, and that is the policy of the White House.
So according to the Washington Post, Raj, citing current and former U.S. officials familiar with intelligence on this, officials in at least 4 countries, and I don't know if you heard me mention this, but I want to make sure I list them again. United Arab Emirates, China, Israel, and Mexico privately discussed ways to manipulate Kushner by taking advantage of his financial difficulties and his lack of foreign policy experience. Does this concern you, this report?
Well, I'm certainly not going to address leaks of possibly classified information that former or current administration or non-administration officials are engaged in. Again, we do take leaks of classified information very seriously. This appears to be another one just like that, and we're simply not going to address it.
Right. I understand you're upset about the leak, but what about the substance?
Well, what I'm saying is I don't know that to be true, and that would be a matter that is classified, and as a result, we're not going to be discussing it.
The Washington Post is also reporting that H.R. McMaster, of course, with whom you also work every day, the president's national security advisor, has learned that Kushner had contacts with foreign officials, that not only did Kushner not coordinate through the National Security Council, he did not officially report them. Do you have a comment on that and the accuracy of that report?
I do know that, the National Security Council has addressed that and said that, Jared Kushner's contacts with foreign officials have and will continue to run through the NSC.
So if there is truth to this, that he did not coordinate anything through the NSC or an official report, if there is something to that, which the Washington Post is reporting, would that be acceptable, Raj?
Aaron, I'll stop you right there. You're asking me about hypotheticals that I don't know to be true based on classified information, which we wouldn't be able to address. So,
right,
again,
but it's a pretty simple question. If something happened, is it acceptable or is it not acceptable?
Again, all of any senior official's activities on policy matters, on interactions with members of Congress or with foreign officials need to be run through the appropriate offices and individuals within the White House and within the agencies throughout government. And that's being done, and that will continue to be done. But I'm not going to address leaks from potentially classified information that is being speculated about in the press.
Right. And of course, I understand you don't like leaks, but of course, our concern is when the leaks are of such a crucial nature, what would be the reaction of this White House to that reality?
Aaron, but you have a bunch of officials claiming certain things are true. I've seen all sorts of reports in the Washington Post, on CNN's website, elsewhere, that are not true going back over the last year. So I would simply state that we're not going to address, speculation about potentially classified information.
So this does follow, Raj, on our reporting that the special counsel Bob Mueller is looking at Kushner's efforts specifically to secure financing for the Kushner companies from foreign investors, China and Qatar among them, during the presidential transition, including that building, 666 here in New York, which is reeling from financial difficulties. The question for you, Raj, is a very simple one, but a very important one. because of who Jared Kushner is and the central role that he holds. Can you promise that he did not at any time use his role with President Trump to try to bail out his own personal finances?
Well, I'll say that we have been cooperating with the special counsel with their process. We've been providing information, witnesses, et cetera, voluntarily with them. We do not comment on specific individuals, witnesses, or information with respect to the special counsel's process. And it just goes to what the president has been saying from day one. There's no collusion. There's no obstruction. There's going to be no finding of wrongdoing. I think that applies to all White House officials.
But if you're willing to say there's no collusion, why can't you answer the question directly? Can you or can you not say that Jared Kushner did or did not ever use his role to benefit himself?
What I'm saying and what the White House has consistently said is that our communications with the special counsel and its investigative practices and the areas of concern that it's looking into are going to be addressed with the special counsel and not with the media.
The president has said and been very clear that the decision on Jared Kushner's security clearance is up to John Kelly, his chief of staff. That he's made it very clear, he'll make the right decision, whatever the implications of what that decision would be. I just wanted to play exactly what the president said for you, Raj. Here he is.
I will let General Kelly make that decision, and he's going to do what's right for the country, and I have no doubt he'll make the right decision.
Raj, is the president happy with this decision to strip Jared Kushner of his top secret clearance?
Again, that's assuming information that we're not addressing or not commenting on. We do not comment on security clearances. And, I can repeat myself over and over, but if we want to move on to something else that I can't answer, we can do that as well.
Does the president stand behind any decision that John Kelly made on that front today?
Again, as I've said over and over again, and I'll continue to repeat it, we're not going to be commenting on security clearances.
All right. Raj Shah, thank you very much. I appreciate your time as always. Thanks for coming on.
All right, thank you.